Okay, so let's discuss the HomeaZZon app service. Just looking at our dashboard metrics, we have our East US 2 API, and we have our uaenorth API, right? So Western Hemisphere and on the Eastern Hemisphere. Here we're just looking at some of the fail count. We got 3.5% fail count over the last 24 hours. This is in dev, of course, right? This is in dev. This is in dev. We got 10,000, just a little like 9,000 requests, 300 failed. These should fail. Like this was some error I was doing while debugging. Let's see what failed the most. I don't know why this happened, so that's not a real failure, but this is good. This happened while I was debugging, and I fixed this and did a release a little while ago. So this is good. What's failing over there in the that side of the world? Nothing good, right? 20 requests or 5 requests won't fail. That's good. Again, this was some development stuff, but again, I get immediate insights, right? Immediate insights. Also, here we got what's the average duration? How long do things take in the process, right? We got something that's taking a little bit under 3 seconds, a little bit over 1 second, but my average duration is under half a second, right? And that's my SLA is going to be 500 milliseconds or less. Right? What's going on over in the UAE? Now, I noticed in the UAE things take a little bit longer to process, but maybe that's because the database lives in the East region, right? So maybe that's the reason for that, right? Our database lives in the East US, and this is not a microservice, right? This is a monolithic application. Also, let's look at what our Azure functions are doing. Our Azure functions are popping pretty good. And I do this and I do that. Also, I missed what is the that's not it. Yeah. So yeah, again, the Azure functions are kicking off pretty good. Got 7 of them that take about 3 seconds to process. And this suggested item service bus trigger. This is like a distribution type of like a broadcast type service where what happens is a private labeler, let's say Home Depot or some major property developer, or has customers, right? And they make a change to a template that those customers are also interacting with. In this case, they're suggesting products to customers, and they suggest it to the template, and then all the customers who have that template, we replicate, right? We want to update the database so that when those customers log in, they see that suggested product, right? So we got a couple boxes here. I just upgraded this box to a P3 V3 box. This is a P3 V1 box. This is the UAE box. This is the East US box. I noticed that the memory runs a little bit higher here. Now this box has a lot more load on it than does this box. That's why it's a P3 V3. But again, everything looks pretty good here. You see spikes a lot going on there. Memory seems to be always around 40% here. Sometimes on the UAE box, I see it tick up sometimes to about 80% or 60%. Of course, I do have some alerts and things like that set. Looking at a failed request, I need to look into this. We'll look into that in another video. Again, these are just just basic app insights, fail requests, server response time, server request availability for both of the API applications. And this is for the Azure functions, right? This is the overview of how our cache is doing, our Redis cache instance. And the last thing I'll show you will be the architecture. Just a second here. So what that infrastructure, or that app insight sits on top of this infrastructure, right? So this infrastructure, we have the HomeaZZon SaaS platform client apps, we have a mobile app, we have the mobile app progressive web app, we have our back office SaaS app, we have our private label registration SaaS app, we have our private label back office SaaS app, and we have our private label user registration SaaS app. All of those connect and authenticate through Azure AD/B2C. Those tokens are presented to our Azure front door, which also lives in the East US too. So even those again, we're still in dev, right? But even those users connected from UAE, they're still connected through this front door, right? And this database, our database, again, just lives in the East US. But anyway, requests are routed to the front door, and front door makes a determination of which route it should take. Either way, another thing is that I need to set up another Redis in the from the UAE, right? In North UAE, I need to set up another Redis, right? So that's another thing that we're going to do. Probably this week. And so we look in Redis and see if things are in Redis, and if they're not in Redis, then we go down to the database, right? And we then update Redis and check the database. And sometimes we put messages on the service bus, and those trigger activities on Azure functions. So that's our architecture. We have, of course, using Azure Key Vaults, and we're also using action groups for app insights alerts. This is our MVP state for our dev version of our product. Thank you.